Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to tackle something I'm pretty sure we've all thought about at one point or another. What makes someone attractive? I've got these notes here, and they outline 10 key elements.
Okay.
And I'm really excited to kind of break all this down with Yacht, expert speaker. What I think is so fascinating about this is that it's not just about looks.
Right.
It's like a blend of these inner qualities and how you present yourself.
Yeah.
So it's really about being the best you possible.
Absolutely.
No cheesy makeover montage, though.
No.
We're going for genuine understanding here.
Right. Like we all know someone who maybe isn't conventionally quote unquote good looking.
Right.
But they just draw you in. That
Yeah.
magnetism. That's
Yeah.
what we're going to explore.
That's exactly it. So the first thing that these notes hit on is confidence.
Okay.
Actually, they call it the most powerful attractor. What do you think? Are they giving confidence too much weight?
Not at all. I think when you see someone who's confident, it signals that they're comfortable with themselves. And that makes them instantly more interesting.
Yeah.
You know, there have even been studies that show that people who sit up straight are perceived as more confident.
Oh, really?
Even if they don't feel that way on the inside. It's like your body's sending a signal, I'm present, I'm engaged, I'm ready.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny because I remember I was at this party once,
Uh-huh.
and I was so nervous. And I kind of like mumbled through introductions.
Yeah.
But then this other person walked in, head high, big smile, and they just owned the room.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone just gravitated towards it. It was like confidence is this invisible force field.
Totally. Which brings us to those outward signals. Our notes group posture and smiling together, and there's a reason for that.
So good posture. Is it really that big of a deal?
Well, good posture is fascinating.
Okay.
From an evolutionary biology perspective. Standing tall, shoulders back, it's subconsciously suggests health and vitality. Like back in the day, that posture signaled that you were strong and capable,
Okay.
good provider material,
I see.
you know? We still pick up on those cues, even if we don't realize it.
So slouching is out.
Yeah.
Okay. But then there's the smile.
Yeah.
Our notes specifically say genuine smile.
Right.
Is there really that much of a difference?
Huge difference.
Okay.
A forced smile is just lips moving. A genuine smile reaches your eyes, it crinkles them at the corners.
Okay.
And that's contagious.
Oh, yeah.
It disarms people and makes you seem approachable and trustworthy.
So genuine smiles all the way.
Yes.
Maybe we should all be practicing in the mirror.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this one initially made me roll my eyes a little bit. Personal grooming. It just felt kind of superficial.
It's deeper than it seems.
Okay.
It's not about conforming to some magazine cover.
Right.
It's about self-respect and showing that you pay attention to detail, which are attractive qualities.
Oh.
I mean, think about it. When you put effort into how you present yourself, it suggests that you care about making a good impression
Right.
and that you value yourself.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yep.
I get it. So it's not about being vain. It's about putting your best foot forward.
Exactly. And it ties into the next point, healthy lifestyle. Again, it's not about fitting some ideal,
Right.
but about the energy and the vibrancy that comes with well-being.
So basically, taking care of yourself makes you more attractive because it shows you value yourself,
Exactly.
which makes sense because when you feel good, you radiate a different kind of confidence.
Absolutely. It shows that you prioritize your well-being, both physically and mentally.
Right.
And that's incredibly attractive.
Okay. Moving on to one of my favorites, kindness and empathy.
Okay.
It's so refreshing to meet genuinely kind people, especially these days,
Kindness is a superpower,
isn't it?
and it signals emotional intelligence, which is highly attractive. You know, emotional intelligence is like a muscle. The more you practice recognizing and understanding your own emotions and those of others, the stronger it becomes. And that strength is attractive because it shows you can navigate relationships with grace.
Like you're saying, kindness isn't just nice, it's smart.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say someone passes the confidence test. They're standing tall, they're smiling genuinely, they're taking care of themselves, and they're kind.
Right.
What's next?
Well, this one often gets overlooked: intellectual curiosity and active listening. Think about someone whose eyes light up when they talk about their passion.
Yes.
That spark is attractive. It makes you want to lean in.
Yeah.
It shows that they have a zest for life and an open mind.
So being curious makes you more interesting. That makes total sense.
Right.
What about active listening? How does that tie in?
Active listening is huge.
Okay.
It makes the other person feel valued, heard, and understood, and it builds connection beyond surface level attraction.
So it's not just about being interesting. It's about being interested,
Exactly.
showing you genuinely care about what the other person has to say.
Yes.
And that makes them feel good about themselves,
Yeah.
which then in turn makes you more attractive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It all comes back to creating that positive connection.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground here. Before we move on, are there any key takeaways about these first few elements that you think are important for a listener to understand?
Absolutely. I think what's important to remember is that these qualities build on each other.
Okay.
Confidence shines through in your posture and smile.
Mhm.
Taking care of yourself physically and emotionally helps you radiate genuine kindness and warmth.
Right.
And being intellectually curious, paired with active listening, makes you incredibly engaging.
It's like a recipe for attractiveness.
It is.
But I'm guessing there's more to it than just these first few elements. So what's next on the list?
Let's dive into authenticity and sense of humor. These are essential ingredients for building genuine connections, which is where real attraction takes root.
Okay, so we're back. And ready to delve into two more elements on our list,
Okay.
authenticity and a sense of humor.
Yes.
And it seems like these are all about letting your personality shine, which I love. So, expert speaker, tell me more about how these tie into attraction.
Yeah, authenticity is huge. It's about being comfortable in your own quirks and all, and that's a relief for everyone involved.
Oh, yeah.
When you're not trying to be someone you're not,
Mm-hmm.
it allows for genuine connection. People can sense when you're being fake,
Yeah.
and it's a turnoff, but when you're real, it's magnetic.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Wow.
You know, I used to try so hard to fit in, especially back in college.
Uh-huh.
It was exhausting.
Yeah.
And the moment I just started being myself, everything changed.
Mm.
But how do you balance being authentic with, putting your best foot forward?
Right.
Like we talked about grooming earlier.
Yeah.
But is there a risk of getting too caught up in appearances?
That's a great question. I think the key is to make sure your efforts are aligned with your values. So if taking care of your appearance makes you feel good and confident, then go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it feels like you're trying to meet someone else's standards, then it's probably time to reevaluate.
Okay.
The goal is to enhance your natural beauty, not mask it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where you're expressing yourself authentically, but you're also taking care of yourself.
Exactly. It's about self-love and self-expression.
All right, onto a sense of humor. I feel like everyone says they want someone with a good sense of humor.
Right.
What does that even mean? Do I have to be like a comedian?
Not at all. It's more about finding joy in everyday moments.
Okay.
Being able to laugh at yourself and not taking life too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It's about bringing a sense of playfulness to your interactions.
Mm-hmm.
Laughter releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals in our brains.
Right.
So it actually makes us more attractive.
So humor is basically a shortcut to attraction. I love it.
It is.
But, we've been focusing a lot on these individual qualities.
Yeah.
And our source material emphasizes that there's no one-size-fits-all formula for attractiveness.
Right.
It's subjective, right?
100%. What one person finds attractive, another might not.
Right.
And that's perfectly okay. The beauty of it all is that we're all attracted to different things.
Right.
It keeps things interesting.
It's like there are endless possibilities for connection, which is kind of exciting.
Exactly.
But it also makes me wonder, are there any universal truths about attraction? Like, is there anything that consistently draws people in, regardless of individual preferences?
I think the closest we get to a universal truth is the power of genuine connection.
Mm-hmm.
When you meet someone and you just click,
Right.
there's a spark, a sense of understanding and shared energy. That's powerful.
Totally.
And it transcends individual preferences.
So it's not just about checking boxes on a list of attractive qualities.
Right.
It's about finding that special someone who sees you, gets you, and appreciates you for who you truly are.
Exactly. And that brings me to something I think is crucial to remember. Attractiveness is a two-way street. It's not just about how we perceive others,
Okay.
but also about how they perceive us.
Right.
We're all sending and receiving signals constantly.
So we might find someone attractive, but if they don't feel the same way about us, then the attraction isn't really there.
Right. And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not a rejection of who we are. It just means we haven't found the right match. And sometimes we might not even realize how attractive we are to others because we're so focused on our own insecurities.
It's like we have these blind spots when it comes to our own attractiveness.
Yes, exactly.
Which reminds me, our source material talks about the importance of self-esteem and mental well-being. Why is that so crucial?
It's the foundation. When you feel good about yourself, it radiates outwards. You carry yourself differently, you smile more genuinely, and you're more open to connecting with others.
So taking care of our mental health is just as important as taking care of our physical health when it comes to attractiveness.
Absolutely. It's all connected when you prioritize your well-being.
Right. You're sending a message to yourself and to the world. I'm worthy of love and connection.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly attractive.
I love that. It's like you're giving ourselves permission to shine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all have our own unique sparkle.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that sparkle and letting it shine.
Okay. I'm feeling super inspired right now.
Oh, good.
But, we've been focusing a lot on these internal qualities.
Right.
And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the role of physical appearance. Is it as important as we sometimes make it out to be?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
It's undeniable that physical attraction plays a role.
Right.
But it's important to remember that beauty standards are constantly evolving, and they're often influenced by cultural norms and media portrayals.
So what one generation finds attractive might be totally different from what another generation finds appealing.
Exactly. Like bell-bottoms were all the rage in the 70s.
Yeah.
But I don't see them making a comeback anytime soon. Totally.
Yeah.
And what one culture values in terms of physical beauty might be totally different from another culture's ideals.
Exactly. So much of it is subjective and culturally influenced.
It makes you realize how much pressure we put on ourselves to conform to these external standards of beauty.
It's so true. And that pressure can really take a toll on our self-esteem. I think it's crucial to remember that true beauty comes from within.
It's about feeling confident and comfortable in your own skin, regardless of what society dictates.
Yes. And I think it's important to distinguish between physical attraction and genuine connection.
Okay.
Physical attraction might spark an initial interest, but it's the deeper qualities that sustain a lasting connection.
So while looks might catch someone's eye, it's the personality, the values, the shared experiences that truly create a bond.
Beautifully said.
Okay, I feel like we've covered so much ground in this part of our deep dive.
We have.
But before we move on to our final thoughts, is there anything else you want to emphasize about the importance of authenticity, humor, and self-esteem?
Absolutely. I think it's all about remembering that attractiveness is a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
It's about embracing who you are, expressing yourself authentically, finding joy in the simple things, and taking care of yourself both physically and mentally.
It's about celebrating your unique beauty inside and out.
Exactly.
All right, listener, that wraps up part 2 of our deep dive. Stay tuned for our final part where we'll bring it all together and leave you with some food for thought. Okay, we are back for the final part of our deep dive into attraction.
Right.
Expert speaker. I feel like we've covered so much ground,
Yeah.
from confidence and kindness to the power of genuine connection.
Right.
What are your final thoughts for our listener before we wrap up?
As we've been talking about all these different elements,
Mhm.
it's striking me how interconnected they really are. It's not just about possessing one or two of these qualities. It's about the way they work together to create this aura of attractiveness.
It's like a symphony, where each instrument plays its part to create a beautiful, harmonious whole.
Exactly. And I think that's a powerful message for our listener.
Yeah.
It's not about striving for perfection or trying to be someone you're not.
Right.
It's about embracing your unique blend of qualities.
Yes.
And letting them shine through.
It's about recognizing that you already have everything you need to be attractive.
Yeah.
You just have to cultivate those qualities and let them blossom.
And love that. And I think it's important to remember that this journey of cultivating attractiveness
Yeah.
isn't just about romantic relationships. It's about all of our relationships with friends, family, colleagues, even with ourselves.
I mean, that's such an important point.
Yeah,
These qualities make us more magnetic in all areas of our lives.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And, as we've been discussing all these elements, I've been thinking about one key takeaway
Okay.
that I want to leave our listener with.
Right.
It's the idea that attractiveness is not a static concept. It's a dynamic process. It's about constantly learning, growing, and evolving.
So it's not about reaching some end goal where you're suddenly attractive.
Right.
It's about embracing the journey of becoming your best self.
Yes. And that journey is unique for everyone. There's no right or wrong way to do it.
Right.
It's about finding what works for you and allowing yourself to blossom along the way.
I love that. And I think it ties in perfectly with a thought-provoking question I wanted to pose to our listener.
Okay.
What role does personal growth play in attraction?
Ooh, that's a good one. It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
does working on ourselves, becoming more self-aware, and striving to be the best version of ourselves actually make us more attractive to others?
It's almost like personal growth is the ultimate form of self-care.
Right.
And that self-care radiates outwards, making us more confident, more radiant, more magnetic.
I think you're onto something. It's like we're signaling to the world, hey, I'm invested in myself. I'm growing. I'm evolving.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly attractive because it shows we're not stagnant. We're always striving to be better.
And isn't that what we're all ultimately looking for in a partner? Someone who's committed to growth and evolution.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's about finding someone who inspires us to be our best selves.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive expert speaker.
It really has.
I feel like I've learned so much, and I hope our listener has too.
Me too. It's been a joy to explore these ideas with you.
Well, listener, we've reached the end of our deep dive. We've explored 10 elements of attraction.
Wow.
From confidence and kindness to authenticity and a sense of humor.
Yeah.
We've talked about the importance of self-esteem, the power of genuine connection, and the role of personal growth. But the exploration doesn't end here. We encourage you to keep diving deep. Keep asking questions and keep discovering what makes you feel attractive and confident.
And remember, you are already beautiful and magnetic in your own unique way. Let your light shine.
Beautifully said. We'll leave you with that final thought, listener. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep sparkling.